So we got a short-term bounce underway, exactly as predicted yesterday. But the question is, are we going to sell this bounce now, or are we going to hold on for a little bit longer? So we got tons to talk about here, guys. There's big resistance levels coming for BTC, for a lot of these altcoins. There may be one or two scalp plays as well today. And then I've got an absolute legend in the back here for you guys, my special guest. We're talking indicators, and we're talking Bitcoin, and we're talking the market. So there's so much happening today, guys. Let's get right into it. Before we get started, there's a couple of things you need to do now. Number one is you're gonna like, obviously. You're going to subscribe, obviously. And then I'm running a poll in the chat at the moment. Go look at that poll in the chat. It's very important that you take part. Look at this legend over here, absolute legend. Here's another one. The likes bouncer is in town, AI Ray. Okay, so answer the poll. We're talking indicators. We're talking the markets. Okay, it's all happening. Okay, you guys know what to do. Answer the poll. Answer the poll. Okay. Let's go. Banter bubbles looking green. Okay, to be fair, we looked for this bounce yesterday. We were looking for some kind of short-term move out of the market. Now, we haven't blown the lights out just yet. It's been okay, but it's a nice little mix that we can see here. And fucking 𝗪𝗪𝗟, right? 14% up. And FTT, again, the FTX token is coming alive here at the bottom, 26% with 11%. No doubt, we've got these meme coins performing again. We've got Popcat at 15%. It's obvious, bro. It's obvious. Every single time. Okay. I closed my whiff. So basically, guys, we're going to get into Bitcoin now. But basically, my current strategy is for today. I've taken profits on Floki. I've taken profits on whiff from yesterday. Okay, we had some banging entries there. I've left GRT. I've left Rune. I've got a couple of others running here. I'm still in the Sui short. So we're going to talk with MDX today. And we're really going to uncover what the next play is in the market. So let's dial into BTC on the 4 hour quickly and just get an idea. So yesterday, what we were looking for was a little dip into this 59.5 region. That was a hot zone for me. We were trying to tee up a long in that little region, 59.500. And I still suspect at some point we're going to come and visit that zone. So I don't want to take that one off the table just yet. We know this is a hot zone, 59,500, even just a little squeeze down to low 59s. Anywhere in that region for me is a hot zone. But how do we get there? And, right now I'm looking at a couple of areas to the upside. Number one, 62,460. That sort of region looks like a typical rejection zone for me. And then I've got a big danger zone here ahead at around about 64K. So it depends how bullish things get now going through this weekend and things like that. But what I'm doing personally here is I'm exercising extreme caution, 62,400 and 64K. Those are the danger zones to the upside that I'm watching. Then it remains to be seen what happens after that. If we do get some kind of rejection, it could be a simple play where we get some kind of bullish retest and we start pushing higher. Or alternatively, if it's a big rejection here and we have some kind of war situation, getting a bit out of hand and things like that, then I suspect we get a hard rejection and then we start digging a little bit lower down for these types of levels. And we're going to talk about these levels in depth with MDX. So we're going to save some of the juice for that. What I want to do firstly is let's just jump into what is going on out there. And number one, I don't often really wave my dick around on Twitter, but I thought, after yesterday's move, I thought it was worth a look. We really caught some banging entries yesterday. Come on, let's go. So we nailed a few bangers yesterday, and some of them was FDM, Rune, Floki, whiff off an amazing zone. Okay, it was off 2 and a great little mover there for us. So make sure, guys, that you are always, number one, tuned into Twitter. Okay, you're following me on Twitter. And number two, you got to watch the show regularly. Sometimes these entries take days to play out. You can't just pitch up on a day and then expect to get some of these zones. So you got to play it patiently. And then just an update on Uptober. Okay, so it's still Downtober at the moment here. We are minus 2.8%. So things aren't looking that good from October's perspective. But, there is a bit of bull sauce floating around. And we did see this last year. We had a very similar situation. We were ultra bearish September, early October. Things were really messy last year. And Mr. Crypto's just dropped a little hint here. He's saying, look what happened in October 23. Okay. And it's the same thing about to play out. And if you look at his chart here, it tells us we could have a little bit more upside come sort of the middle of October. And wouldn't that tee up, it also tie in, with the current moon situation that we have as well. And we're going to talk to Max. We're going to talk to Max about the moons. Do you ever do the moons? Bro, you got to see these moons. You got to see these memes, bro. It's actually unreal. 90% hit rate. Okay, 90% hit rate. Okay, we're gonna bring him back. Okay, let's see what else is going on. This was the big news today, and this was the big market mover. Now, the economy, the US economy, 254,000 jobs were added, blowing past the estimate of 147. I mean, that's a massive miss. That is incredibly big miss. And this was, a lot of the hype today. And you might have seen a bit of chop in the markets there. And this is basically putting the Fed in a situation where they are forced to look at a 25 basis point dip in the rates rather than the 50 basis points. So there was a little bit of volatility today in the job market. And when we got that news, look at the Dixie. This Dixie absolutely ripped. Now, this thing's been trending lower for quite a long time here. And this is Dixie on the weekly, now pushing into its first sort of resistance band. So, yeah. I mean, it's a bit of a mix, Max. I'm quite keen to hear. I keep bringing him back. Just hang here. Okay, I'm quite keen to hear your thoughts on this. On this situation, because we're getting news, okay, and then like we had crypto pumping a little bit now. The S&P is actually okay. The Dixie's ripping. Nothing makes sense anymore. Nothing makes sense.
Well, I saw a few tweets earlier about it. It was saying, well, there was a guy saying, we need the Dixie to fall for Bitcoin to rise, and that's not strictly true. If you look at the numbers, you look at historical backtested, what actually happens with Dixie. Much more likely if Dixie's going up, gold will go down, but Bitcoin can still rally if Dixie's going up. And it's not a massive move in terms of strength. We still need to break out of the upside trend. We've got resistance above us. So markets can still do the same thing. People can still go into cash and still be buying other asset classes, especially when other fiat currencies get weaker. So I don't think there's too much to see here, really. I think it's okay.
So, yeah, look, ripping Dixie, haven't seen that in a while, okay? But anyone interested? Resistance bands, 102 and 103. That's another big rejection area. So if that works for anybody there, that is that. And then here, this is what we were talking about. CME Fed Watch shows a 90% chance for a 25 basis point cut now. Okay, so they keep chopping and changing, things like that. And this market is, it's weird. It's like this S&P is bothering me, the way it's sitting around at the top, where are you on the S&P?
Charts as well. If you look at inflation-adjusted charts, I think it's still got a long way to go to the upside, bro.
Pumpamentals. Look at inflation-adjusted. It still hasn't broken its all-time high. And if we hold above this level, there's nothing to go by here. Like, you can talk about the news and what might happen, and there might be a war and macho stuff, which you can't quantify, but we're above the all-time high, finding support. You bet up. Okay. Yeah. Look, I mean, we're watching our support level here, 5,650. Yeah, you know the story, guys. I mean, we're in price discovery, essentially, here. So it's anybody's guess as to where we can go.
You can't bet against this, You have to wait for at least a break, some sort of change of character, change of structure, and then short the retest. But right as of now, everyone's like, oh, now I'm going to short. Well, it's like, look at the inflation-adjusted levels, and we're breaking the all-time high. So S&P for me is looking good.
Okay, so before we get into the rest of BTC, before we get into altcoins and all that stuff, there's a couple of admin things. Now, you're a ByBit man. There's a big ByBit competition starting in 7 or 8 days. Are you taking part as well?
No, mate. I'm in the Balinese jungle right now. I'm in nature. I'm not trading, not looking at charts. I'm out here in the fucking jungle, baby.
Okay, so guys, what a privilege. He's come out of the jungle to talk charts with us. Okay, well, anyway, it's the WSOT ByBit competition. Okay, there's a yacht in the middle. Okay, we can win this thing. Okay, you can win world travel tickets, Rolex. All you need to do, guys, join our banter squad. Okay, there's a link in the description. Just click that. Join our squad. We have all combined into one team. So we're not separate anymore. It's me, Sheldon, Kyle, Run, everybody. We're all together in one team here. We're trying to get the biggest team possible out there. And this thing starts on the 10th of October. So there is time for you guys to sign up. So just jump into the show link there in the description. You'll see everything is there. The ByBit competition is there for you guys. And there's a couple of things we're talking about today. So you're going to find them in the description. And Ray highlighted a comment just now from somebody saying the only Dixie they want to see is my big package. And just a reminder, guys. No, I don't have my package yet.
Are you handing out your package or what's going on?
So Run took my package. So normally I would show you my package, but we're doing a special giveaway today for Ledger. Okay, it's we're tying it up with a 𝗍𝗥 situation as well. So stick around. There's a Ledger giveaway coming. Well, a financial giveaway, and it's the last day of this Ledger promotion as well. So you guys, you could actually have you could stand to win a little bit here. with regards to Ledger and VX today. So make sure you are sticking around. We're going to deal with that now. And then just before we get cracking, let's just make sure
come with the big package. Is that what you said?
Well, I just want to make sure our poll. No, guys,
Mate,
this is our special
God,
guest.
Jesus has spoken, bro.
Guys,
God, Jesus has spoken.
our special guest has only got 7% votes for the chest. I don't think they've seen your chest properly.
You don't know what, guys, you don't know what you're talking about. You want to see chest? I'll show you some chest, boys.
That's quite a V. I mean, I wore the deep V as well. Look at that. I mean, there's my deep V.
I'm showing you what Bitcoin's doing on the macro.
Well, guys, I mean, if you're lucky, we're going to show you some package as well. Okay, so stick around. Let's go. Let's not digress anymore. Let's get into some of the source. Okay, Max, your current view on BTC in elevator pitch. Where we?
Let's have a look. Yeah, I'll share my charts. I haven't got my mouse with me, so bear with me. Can you see my chart?
There, go.
Yeah, so it's slightly different to your levels. There is actually a really nice potential short, which potentially could play out. And it does incorporate one of my strategies with my index trading bot. So you need 3 parameters. A rally back up into either the 618, 786 or the 8 in terms of the fib numbers. So we're looking at these 3 numbers, the 886. If you come up here, I think that could be a very nice short. I also have an indicator that actually has a buy signal, which you use a counter trading strategy. So between here and here, we get a nice pop back up, which does look pretty good at local support down at 60K. Actually a little bit higher than that, about 60, 100. That could be a really nice move back down. I'm not saying it's going to break this level and go all the way lower. That's you can't say that far, but there will be a really nice short in those levels, like you just showed on your charts. It is a buy down here as well. If we retest $60,000 on this wick, I would look to buy it as well. So you're buying and selling, getting into both of those positions. And the EMA ribbon will come up as well. So I obviously use all my indicators, but I'll kind of go into that later. I use about 4 or 5 different indicators all at the same time, but I use them in a slightly nuanced way, so different to most people. But I would say nice short coming up. We are at support as well. So you have a support level, you have a resistance level coming up top. In between here, there's lots of opportunity. It can go sideways, but generally speaking, this is a break of trend. So if you guys are drawing trend lines, a lot of you guys in Crypto Banter would probably have a trend line like that. It breaks that, it rallies back up nearish to the trend line. Doesn't have to touch it. There could be a nice short there, but it is a break of this level. I'm just trying to get my drawings nice, but it's going to be a bit whippity wappity woo.
Neat.
Try, but because this is broken now, rallying back into it is a higher probability that actually you would get something like this. And if you invert that, you can see it pretty clearly that would be the double bottom formation, but obviously it's easier to articulate on the other side. I think there is something. Yeah, exactly. But I would say, as of right now, you are at support, so it's a buy. I was saying in my other community, that's it. And just the last thing to say as well, just for understanding how my brain works, if we lose $60,000, we are likely going to go down to around 53. And if you draw a Fibonacci from here to here, you're probably actually going to come into potentially 54.2 to 55.8. And I actually think 53K again will quite likely get tagged if you lose this level. So it's short here, long back up to it. If you're in the long, that means if it does continue, you're already in the long. You get the short exposure for potentially moving down to this. Then you're covering all of the ends here for a trade at where we are. There's a really good trade. This is really good right now.
Okay, banger. So, guys, I mean, MDX, this is the man. MDX Algo. You've seen it on my show a couple of times. You've seen Chaos doing his magic with it. This is the man. This is MDX. This is his.
I am the dude who created it. I've been building it for probably the last 5 or 6 years, and it's just basically using the combination of strategies that I would like to have in a more easy package to essentially put them on my chart, build the confluence factors, tick off all the check boxes, the things that work, and then if they're all lining up, then you just click one button, essentially using AI and tools to make it so it's easier to trade. That's the whole game. That
specific one that everybody saw earlier this week on my show with Chaos, MDX actually tailor-made that for me. Okay, it's basically the Lord's entry situation here that we've got going on. So yeah,
we forget as traders, especially me, that I've been doing it for so long, that we forget some of the things that beginners would really like to see, because we have quite a lot of complicated tools as well. But your community came in. Chaos is a fucking legend. You can see him in the chat.
He's a fucking legend.
Yeah, he's a G, man. And we really tailored it to make it so it's super simple, but also quite advanced in terms of the logic behind it. That's the whole goal.
No, absolute banger, and Chaos is killing it at the moment in Sniper Club with the MDX Algo indicator. He's giving all sorts of setups in there at the moment. So, okay, we got work to do here, Max. We got coins to look at. We got shit to get through here. Let's just talk quickly. BTC on the daily. Look at this moon situation. Now, I mean, this has fascinated me. Okay, every blue moon that you see on this chart this year, 9 out of 10 times it's sent Bitcoin down, including the one that appeared on Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay, unbelievable hit rate.
Who's that chick who brought this up? There was some chick a few years back with like fucking Mary.
Marin.
Yeah. I think I actually spoke to her on Twitter a few years ago, and I debunked the whole thing because we took the data and back tested it over the whole of Bitcoin's history. There might be periods where it works for a little bit, but I can't see any quantifiable evidence to say that this works long term. But yeah,
okay. Now I'm not a Moonie. Okay, I banged this out and I said, let's see.
That's what you're saying about Moonies. I get it.
Every time we got a blue moon from January this year, 9 out of 10. So not every time. 90% of the time it works every time. Okay, this thing has gone down.
Anchor man in the building, baby.
Okay, so anyway, that's that on the daily.
Banned
the blue moon.
Banned 26 countries, Dylan. Banned.
Is that the Panther? What is that?
Yeah, they say it's to be banned in 4 countries.
Okay, guys, let's go. The others chart. This is the altcoin market excluding the top 10, and so far bullish retest in play. Okay, so we can't get too bearish on it. And I did highlight yesterday. Yes, sir.
I was going to mention, I think she did actually go bankrupt, so let's not rely on the moons too much.
The moons. Okay, so the others chart. This is others on the weekly. Bullish retest in play. Okay, so we can call this a bullish retest. This is a concern I raised yesterday. Okay, that only comes into play if we get that hard rejection that Max is talking about. We lose our current supports and Bitcoin starts dipping low 50s, maybe sub 50s. Then this is going to play out this head and shoulders. But right now for me, bulls, we can just say bullish retest here, horizontals in play, trends in play, 50-day MA in play. So far so good on the altcoins. And we can't be that bearish at the moment. Dominance, look, we've had our first rejection. This is good for altcoins. As we know, we want to see a rejection at any type of horizontal. And yesterday, when we were under extreme pressure, okay, we finally got our rejection at our first little horizontal band. So dominance, yeah, we can either push this a bit lower. If we do get another pump, that for me is our next relief bounce for the alts that we're going to be watching pretty closely. So, and to the downside, naturally, if we get a push higher here on BTC, I would be cautious here with the altcoins at the 57.6 zone. So just watching that one pretty closely. Okay, some trades that I'm in at the moment, and I need some help from MDX as well. And he's going to use his Algo, MDX Algo, to give us a guide. So one of them is the Sui short that I'm sitting in at the moment from yesterday. Then I've got an injective scalp from earlier today. I was with the Sniper Club guys. We were looking at a potential injective play, and it started looking quite decent this afternoon. So I've jumped into that one. And then FTM is from yesterday, and I've slowly been adding to this position a little bit, trying to grow the size and hoping for some kind of push here going forward. So let's talk about this. And while we on, well, let's bang out first the Sui chart, and then I'm going to tell you about this giveaway that we're going to be doing for you guys. So, okay, here's the deal. Okay, the Sui thing annoys me a lot, and I've actually spent money trying to short this thing for 8 days or something. Okay, I finally got it right, Max, and it's finally in play. Okay, my downside targets for Sui that I'm looking for now, 1.4 is sort of my first sort of zone that I'm looking to close this thing out at. And I'm just interested to hear your thoughts, because right now what I'm seeing on this bigger picture here, we finally had this bearish divergence that started playing out yesterday. Now we've got a situation here where we might have a head and shoulders in play that's kind of exciting me, and I'm looking for more downside. So I'm just keen to hear your thoughts here. I want to know what your indicator tells us. And let's bang out your screen here quickly.
You can see my screen, yeah. Well,
there it is.
I've got the SR levels up, so we have the indicator auto charting tools. So just click one button, it will show you all the support and resistance levels. So this is literally what I use every day. But in terms of the short, it's actually a little bit. There's nothing really here which actually is confirming a break of the trend at all yet. It's still consistently making higher lows the whole way up, and it actually is defending that prior low area there on the daily. And this is kind of actually more likely to see some sort of retest of the high first and then break this level, which is actually at $1.06, $1.60 I think we're looking at on Solana. And then you would look for the short into this region. That would be a Fibonacci short. So you'd say something like this. You'd say it breaks it and goes down to around the next level of support, 1.49. Then you'd look for the rally into it for the short. But shorting into it's quite difficult right now because we haven't actually broken that clear SR level. In terms of Algo Master, I actually don't have the indicator signals on it because I just use the TPs. So the more TPs you're getting and the cluster of TPs you see, you have a TP here, TP here, TP here. When you start seeing clusters of TPs with T signatures as well with the pivots, that's when I would say that would be a nice pivotal play, but I won't actually trade on a long-term swing short. That would be more of a scalp short. So you're looking at the into the actual move, and then you got your stop loss very tight at the high, and it comes back down, you take profit on the next level. But in terms of this level, it's not there yet. The EMA ribbon as well, this is encompassing Trend Master. So this is actually an EMA ribbon, which I've used for, I don't know how long, mate. The years keep clocking by, over a decade now. So this EMA ribbon as well is not broken yet. So again, if it comes into the EMA ribbon, that will probably act as a bounce for potentially it's a momentum swing play. So you'd actually look for it to actually continue off it. I'm not saying the EMA ribbon is doing that to the price. It's just that a lot of the time when the price goes to the EMA ribbon, it will rally. Not saying that the EMA ribbon is doing it. It's not like everyone's looking at it. It's just that because the momentum is swinging up, the probability of having another move up into the upside, the probability is higher. So again, two things again, not pointing to potentially a short play. I wouldn't take a short swing yet. I'd wait for at least.
Yeah, I'm sitting in the short. We executed. We had 1.91. That is my average entry there. So yeah, if we're pushing up to the highs again, double top, maybe fill some of that wick, I'm happy. But yeah, I mean, for me, this thing was getting tired.
When you get the short, because it's going to happen at some point, this is going to move very quickly, because if you look at the volume delta, you can see here that all this green coming up underneath, this is another indicator I use. This is super still green. When the red begins to take over, really there's nothing in the books until $1. So like you're going to get quite likely, obviously it's not 100%, a move to around here. Try and get this nice and clear for you, and it could go lower than that because you have two levels. So this is going to look really fucking messy. But I think when it does eventually break something, it's likely to be a very quick move on SUI. And because it's slightly smaller, low liquidity, it's probably not getting, the biggest amount of volume. I know the volume is high, the numbers, but yeah, it's going to be a quick move down.
It was a massively hyped token. And now they've just had an unlock recently. So there is some extra supply floating around. Yeah, that is why it was interesting to me. So the way I see this thing actually playing out now going forward, if we get that push from Bitcoin, 64K, 65K, that type of region, and we get a rejection, we most likely see a bullish SUI testing those highs.
We haven't got a sell signal either. So just trying to cut in, but we haven't got a sell signal on Algo Master either on the daily. So that would be a good sign to see that. But on the 4 hour, I think we probably did get. I'll quickly check.
Okay, your screen's up.
Yeah, so you do have a sell signal on the 4 hour, which is a good sign. And you can look at the backtested results. It's like 154% on this time frame. But you can see here all these green dots. That was a really nice little posh play. Posh play. I mean, a pivot play. Good. A nice posh Bitcoin pump. Hello, how are we? Such a posh pump today.
Well, don't you love these British accents? They always sound 20% more intelligent. It's actually unreal.
I would say it's double. I'd say it's 100% increase. I'd say, hello, sir. How are we? I'm going to my yacht in the south of in the 𝗙𝗪𝗟𝗓 in the south of France, sire.
Okay, so look, SUI, let's not harp on it too much longer. For me, I'm looking worst case that double top scenario, take out that wick or head and shoulders. Ideally, that's where I want to add to my short. It's going to depend now on how bullish Bitcoin goes. Okay, if Bitcoin goes 50, 64, 65K, then I'm going to be under pressure there on SUI. If it rejects 62, 63, fuck me, this thing's coming down. So it's as simple as that, really. Okay, let's go on to our next one. And you've got your indicators out and ready. Let's go Aptos. So we didn't talk about Aptos yesterday after I promised you guys that I wanted to talk about it. And I actually forgot. Okay, so there's a bit of news on Aptos. This guy, Gold, was saying, he's backing an L1 because they're all starting to move. And obviously people solved the problem and they said, no, it was Aptos. That's what he's got. And there were bullish signs there. I dropped it on Twitter earlier today as well, just giving some levels of interest and what you guys have been looking for. And this thing's actually started ripping. Now, I've missed this thing, unfortunately. I wanted to look for an entry here with Max on the show. But, while this has now been playing out, this thing has taken off. So here is our Algo Master that I've been using. And we've printed a buy signal here on the daily, lower down on, when was this? On the 21st. and the first TP is out, but this thing is looking super aggressive now. And my upside target max here is 10. What are you seeing there on your side there?
So you're looking at the 382 in terms of your first fib.
So it's 382 horizontals that I've got here in play for me here. So that's a nice little zone that I like.
Yeah, you could get a swing on it. The thing is, this looks like it's actually going to do the third wave of the move. So I would say, well, let me get my chart up. Yeah, let's have a look.
Yeah.
Is this the right one, right? Aptos, yeah? Am I looking at the right
APT, yeah.
Daily. So this looks like it's probably going to do its third wave. And with this, I would wait for the TPs. I'd actually literally wait for those TPs to print. Obviously, you do have a level which is coming quite nicely, like you said. You know, on auto, it's called AI charting tools now, so you incorporate some AI stuff. But this region here, is blue, and it's a zone where it's looking at resistance. So I could see something stopping it here. But if it gets above that, and I would say it's probably more probable at this point, you know, you're coming up to this level, and potentially, like I said before, when you have a big move down, you know, or a big move up, not much support or resistance. So if you whack up the volume delta, there's pretty much nothing in the books until up here.
Jeez, wow.
So it could get really nice. It will definitely be a momentum play. There's nothing really there. It's shot down so quickly. You know, the only real resistance I can see is coming in last level at about $10.95. But yeah, this wait for the TPs. This is what you want to do. Exactly what you've done correctly is you've got into a long down here. You've got the resistance zone, it's broken above it and then found support on it. So now you're like, fuck it, just leave your trade open and just let those TPs run and always leave 25% on, because that could be the bottom for a very big move. And look at all that massive gap on the screen from here to here.
It's a banger. It's a proper banger. So what I want to look for here is, I mean, this thing might be running away from us now. So, you know, this is the tricky thing. So as we want to try and catch something that's looking super bullish, it's blowing 200-day MAs, it's doing these types of things. We try and look for some degen scalper setups here. Now, this thing's starting to run away from me. So we've been tracking this one since yesterday. And now, you know, we got to just keep looking for that pullback to get some kind of buy-in if you want to hunt it. So right now, for me, the best region that I can give you guys on this Aptos, for me, the 200-day MA, the horizontals in play, the 382 fib, that's a big zone here, 8.5. So that's a super degen level there for us. But if we do get that little dip there, that's the type of region you're looking for your next bounce play here on Aptos. If we can hold the 200-day MA, we know it's been a massive support resistance for everything. Bitcoin, all these altcoins, no different to Aptos. So if we get some kind of retest here, I want to buy this thing with confidence here at about 8.5, that type of level. So watch that, guys. Mark that on your charts. We might not see it, okay? If this thing carries on going, we will get an entry at some point. At some point, we do get consolidation on this thing, so we will grab another one. But your big support now, 8.5, is what you guys need.
Yeah, I would actually buy 7.6 as well. So if it comes back to 7.62 again, that's definitely a buy. You buy that with your eyes closed. That's my motto.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a big sell-off though on Bitcoin. So Bitcoin would trigger that dump there for us down into that region. Yeah, I mean, it would take a dump on Bitcoin though. But yeah, that's a good zone. So 8.5, that's where I'm testing this first. Okay, if this thing carries on running, we're going to have to reset this during Sunday and maybe Monday. Look for some new potential entries on this guy. But that is what I'm going to be watching. If we do get that. Okay, let's talk about 𝗬𝗡𝗑 quickly, because there's so much happening here with 𝗬𝗡𝗑. So you guys know 𝗬𝗡𝗑 is one of my trading partners, and they've got a new campaign running for you guys. Now there's a couple of things going on. If you sign up to 𝗬𝗡𝗑 and you complete a couple of tasks, but you got to use the link in the show description, okay? And you complete their task. Look at this. They're literally throwing money at you. Register and link your cell phone. Get 100 USDT. Do a KYC, which is not mandatory. You don't have to do it, but you can get 100 USDT if you want a KYC on this thing. And then there's bonuses for futures transfers and all these things. So if you use that link in the description, that's what you're going to do to get that. But then on top of that, they've offered another deal for me, and I want to use it with this big package. Okay, so just hear me out. Okay, you guys know this big package deal that we were talking about yesterday is only valid now. It ends today. So if you buy a ledger, okay, using the link in the show description, Banter partnered with Ledger. If you buy a ledger using the link in the show description, any one of these, there's a chance that they're going to send you another one as well, okay? Now what I want to do today is, if you buy a ledger, okay, number one, there is a chance they're going to send you another one. But if you are one of the first 10 to buy a ledger, okay, email giveaways at cryptobanter.com, okay? that you show them that you've bought the ledger, that you've signed up for 𝗬𝗥. Okay, sign up for 𝗬𝗥, put some money in 𝗬𝗥. Okay, put like $50 in 𝗬𝗥 or something. Then I'm going to send you $100 in your 𝗬𝗥 account as well. Okay, and that's separate to the KYC situation. That's separate to linking your phone number and all those types of things. So if you buy the ledger, the first 10 that show giveaways at cryptobanter.com that you've bought the ledger and you've signed up with 𝗬𝗥 with $50 in your account and a UID, we're going to send you $100 to that 𝗬𝗥 account. Now, was that complicated enough, Max? Did that sound complex enough?
Bro, to be honest, I actually bought one of those the other day, and those devices are actually sick. I bought both of them. I bought the Stash and the Stack and the Flex. I got both of them, and I got the 𝗕𝗬𝗟 as well. They're actually sick.
Did you use the link? Did you use
I didn't use your link. I didn't use your link.
Then you don't stand a chance to get another one. Missed out, bro.
You know, I could buy 50 and it'll be okay.
Okay, but you must get another one. Okay,
Free.
So
Free
that's
ledger.
the deal. Free. Okay, so guys, you know what to do now with 𝗬𝗥. Let's just check our poll quickly before we go on to the next situation. Max, you got 8% chest rating, bro. And I mean, I rate that.
Your community, I'm actually a little bit, pissed off at your community right now that you don't know where the games are really at. Like, this is, you don't watch my Instagram, you don't see me in the gym. I'm packing heat on this chess legend to get more votes for that.
I spent some time with this man in Singapore. Okay, let's just say I saw his chest. Okay, we got equally good chest. We got equally good chest. Okay?
You brought your form to Singapore and you saw a lot more than that. We know what happened. Right?
Well, he's got a very good chest. It's equally sexy as mine. So I'm sorry that you're not getting 50% rating. Okay, but let's move on. Let's move on. We got to go to the next thing. Okay, Stewie, we've done. Aptos, we've done. Okay, let's talk Phantom. Okay, so I'm in a Phantom position on 𝗬𝗥. This was the zone I gave you guys yesterday. Wasn't looking to shoot the lights out, but what I was looking for was a short-term bounce with the rest of the market. Okay, so you can see Phantom is running. I've been adding a little bit to that Phantom position, and if you're looking at it on the daily, it's not much. Okay, but what I like about the current Phantom situation is we held our anchored VWAP yesterday that we were looking at on that dip. That was 0.59, that region. Now we've got the 200-day MA in the way. Okay, if we start breaking that 200-day MA that's in the way, we might get a little bit more bullish again on Phantom. Okay, so I'm looking for that to play out for me. If we crack that 200-day MA, you can see this Phantom position here. I'm going to start adding to that position. So as long as we start breaking that 50-day, I'm going to start increasing the size of that thing and obviously hoping for a little bit more of a bullish push. And then we want to identify a couple of regions as to where this could go. And the first two zones that I'm interested in here on Phantom is a short-term trade. Okay, it's a short-term bounce for me. The zones of interest that I'm looking at are 65, 69. Okay, those are the first two regions that we're looking at just for a little Phantom push. So you can see, based on what we're looking at here, we are now pushing into a resistance band. Okay, you can see that. You can see your key support levels that I'm watching here, 0.597 and 0.588. If we do get some kind of bullish pop through here, then I'm going to add to that position, and then I want to try and ride that one higher through the weekend, okay, and just see where we get. If we can get to 69.5 or something like that, nice, okay, a little bit of handbag money by a couple of ledgers.
Someone said bench press the 618. That's classic. That's legendary shit out there, man.
It's actually great. I love it.
Great. Okay, well, that's where we are on Phantom. So, guys, if you are sitting in the position, I'll tell you where my exact stop is right now because I have moved it slightly. Let's just see where we are. Okay, so Phantom. Okay, Phantom, I've got two stops. One at 5972 and one a little bit lower down at 5824. So that's my current Phantom situation. So if you want to join me, it's a little bit risky now. You're quite high. You're quite high from these lows, but those are the support levels you want to watch. Alternatively, if it starts breaking the 200-day MA and the trend, then you can bang a stop under that breakout candle over there and then look to ride that one higher. So it's going to be a tight stop. If you do get that breakout, it's probably 1 or 1.5%. Alternatively, you're looking at quite a deep move lower down if there is a rejection here. So your main risk here is 6%. So it's quite heavy. If you're on leverage, alternatively, it's about 3.5% from here. So just manage your risk accordingly. Okay, maybe you just wait for that little pop or that little breakout. Marky says chess contest with the ADA girls. Bro, have you seen these ADA girls? They're actually scared of me now. We've got to get them back.
I met Charles Hopkinson at the conference, and I tell you what, he ain't got any girls around him.
There's a community of ADA girls, bro. I'll share the link with you on Twitter.
Send it over. I'll invite them on the show. I'll show them my chest, and they can show me theirs.
But they're scared of me now. But I think they'd like your chest. I really do. I think they would like appreciate my chest.
Every chica that I meet compliments me on my chest. It's just that's what happens, bro.
It's a nice chest. Well, look. 50% of the viewers are complimenting me on my chest at the moment.
They haven't
I mean,
seen
it's quite nice.
But the thing is, I'm like this. It's a paywall. It's like OnlyFans. You got to pay to see. That's where I get my money.
Guys, this guy's got a massive Instagram account. Okay, we'll put it in the link. We'll put it in the show description. Okay.
My lifestyle content is like bigger than my fucking trading content at the moment. It's like 20,000 views a story. It's crazy.
Okay, we're digressing. We'll put it in the comments after the show, the Instagram link, if you guys really want to see it. James, what's going on?
Crypto Legends, follow it up. See me doing crazy shit.
Okay, let's go. Here's Injective. This was my concern yesterday. This is why I was saying, this is another one of these tokens. We're looking for a short-term bounce. Okay, so you can see we've reacted in our big reaction zone. That was the hot zone from yesterday. We like that region. Why? We had the anchored VWAP from the dump. In August, we also had the 50-day MA in that region. We also had the 618. So that was a reaction zone for me. Injective traders. Okay, this is where you need to be careful now. 21. Okay, that's your hot zone. If we push higher, next one, 22.5. That could be a potential short opportunity. You want to look for some kind of reaction in that area. That could be a zone there where you can send that one lower. So 22.5 is the max TP zone for me. Unless BTC starts melting faces and ripping through 64, 65. For me, rejection time, 22.5, that type of zone. Naturally, you can watch this wick. You can see that situation there. We've also got the 200-day MA, so that would be another danger zone there, 24. But for me, I think we'll get some kind of short play at the 22.5. So looking out for that to play out. And just like you saw,
with these shorts as well on altcoins, bro, keep an eye on the 886 fib. It's a little bit higher, but we see a lot in our communities. A guy called StuTube, he did a lot of data and back tested the 886. On altcoins, just a little bit higher than the 618, the 886 between those two. That you can get a lot of really nice shorts in there as well.
Okay, banger. So guys, 886. Okay, there's a bit of alpha. Okay, there's a bit of alpha.
Between 786 and 886, between that area, 786 and 886, really nice little spot for alts.
786, 886, guys. So there you are. A couple of other levels there. Most probably, if it does hit those levels, it's taking out some of that wick. So you're going to watch that top zone, 24. But it depends how you want to play it. But for me, the 22.5, that's the region.
You're keeping it more kind of like, normal stock market stuff. And that's the same as me, to be honest, Dylan. I do the same thing. But with altcoins of low liquidity, they usually spike a little bit more than the 618 on the other side.
Yeah, we've got this little zone on the 618. I like to call it the sniper zone there. And I've got it here. Let me show you. It's a little band just under that 618. Look here. So you pull that 618, look here, and you go here. Let me see if
we built it into one of our indicators. So one of our indicators, you can set it to do the automatic Fibonacci, and you can say whether you want it to be aggressive or passive. A passive is normal, and aggressive is that 786 and 886. So it's really nice. But there's a guy called Stu in our community who literally fucking just only trades on the 786s, and he'll just wait for charts, have 100 charts up, just wait till it hits those 786, 886, and with an EMA ribbon. And we'll just hit the short on the ones or the longs on the ones which are lining up. So if you've got the time to do it, you can make money doing that.
Some more fibbage there for you. 886, 786. They know I like my 786. I don't really pull out the 886 that often. But just for reference here, here's that sniper zone that I talk about. There's a little gap between the 618 and a 0.65, that type of region over there. And you can see that caters for wicks in that type of area. So types of little tricks. Remember, guys, what we do, I know sometimes we hit these fibs on the dollar, okay, but it's not meant to be on the dollar every single time. It's a region, it's an area. It ties in with liquidity levels. It ties in with, you guys call them inefficiency candles, wicks, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same language at the end of the day. And we use these zones, these types of regions to give us our reactions. Okay, so Injective, that's all sorted. Remember, guys, all the charts that you see on the show, Ray puts them in the Sniper Club directly after the show. So if you're a Sniper Club member, you have access to all of my charts directly fresh out of the show. So there's a link for Sniper Club in the description there. You can join us there, and there's tons happening. Okay, let's talk Injective, lower time frame.
Like your chest, baby. Fresh like your chest, man.
It is quite fresh, though. It is quite fresh. It's hot here in Cape Town now. It's hot.
It's fucking hot here as well.
I've used your AI charting tools. Okay, I pulled out Max's AI charting tools, looking for some order blocks here. This is a low time frame injective play. Okay, so we've seen injective on the higher time frame. Now I've dialed in on the lower time frame, and I wanted to highlight some order block zones here. So anybody who is trading injective at the moment, I've used Max's order blocks here. You can see
honestly, the hit rate's amazing. Honestly, the AI charting tool system, essentially click one button, it will show you all support resistance, all supply and demand. And if you line that up with some fibs, you don't really need to do your own charting anymore. You just literally click it on and off, and you'll see every single support region that you need or resistance zone you need. So it's amazing, man.
So you're making me redundant, basically. He's made me redundant.
Well, it's like this. I actually make this analogy. It's like DJs used to have to beat match. Now they can sync, and now they can think about doing other things. It's the same thing. As soon as you can just sync it up quickly, then you can think about the next thing, and then really take your strategy to the next level without having to then... If you never even have to identify the SR, and it's always there perfectly for you, then just concentrate on identifying something else, which then increases your win rate, increases your profitability by having more parameters. So it's all about just, these indicators aren't there to, like, you know, change, you know, you as a person. They're just there to make it so it's easier for you to trade as a person. That's the whole game.
Banger. So look, just to finish on injective, you can see I'm in that injective scalp. So we were looking at this on a Sniper Club live Zoom session earlier today, somewhere in this region, and we identified what we could use as support. The 50-day moving average, the anchored VWAP as well was in play here, and some horizontal and some trend. That was going to be our support for this potential market push. So now this thing has started playing out, and what's interesting to me now is injective has reclaimed this nice horizontal band there. Okay, so things are pushing a little bit higher, and that tells me, you know, if Bitcoin behaves itself now today, we could get this little push this weekend. And the targets that I would be super cautious at, okay, 20.9, 22.5. So those are the hot zones there for injective. Let's see how that plays out. It could have, you know, there could be a little bit of chop along the way, but I would look for that. And, you know, the minute we push a little bit higher here on injective, I'm going to start de-risking. I'm going to lift that stop. I don't want to be in a situation now where it actually costs me money. Fuck, Max. I got round-tripped on ETH. I had quite a big ETH position. They sent me all the way up. They sent me all the way back down. Fucking... Dude, I was in it for 2 weeks. I got ended. Don't want to do these
I've done trades for months like that at the beginning stages. It's just, you've got to take your profit when you take on it's just the TPs are so important. Just take the TPs as it rallies and then leave 25% on. Otherwise, I know guys who will sit in a trade for 6 months, up and down, back to entry. You're wasting time and money.
So here was the thesis. So we had multiple zones that we grabbed last week for that pump, okay? Closed the fiat profit. The idea here, we were looking for a bullish retest. One of them is Sol, okay? So I'm still in Sol, still hold that puppy. And here's the Sol chart here. The other one was ETH, but it's such a shit coin that it's just, I mean, there's no action on ETH at the moment. So you can see Vitalik's got a 31% chest rating, but ETH should have a 0% fucking trade rating.
To relax. We need votes, legends. But no, is the shitcoin factory is failing. It's now about the shitties factory, I call it, because Solana is the meme coins, and the meme coins are the big hype.
Okay, so let's talk Sol. Okay, meme coin hype. We know Sol strength, the whole story. Okay, Sol's one of my favorites, as you guys know. And you look, we got our bounce. I added to my Sol position at 135. My average entry is 131. So I nearly got sent back to entry on Sol. Okay, what I'm looking for now, if this thing is going to start playing out for us, we are pushing into TP zones, actually danger zones here for Sol. Okay, so 144, 150.7. You can see this is a big area here for me. 150, 200-day MA, horizontals at play, 618 fib. What is interesting to me now, we're breaking the anchored VWAP from August. We're breaking the anchored VWAP from September dumps, and we're breaking that 50-day MA. So if we do get a little bit of action here, we can start using that as a potential support base for us. Okay, so let's just make sure we clear the zone, but around about 140, we can start playing around. We start dipping back below 140, I might have to look at starting to cut this current Sol position. You can see here it is here in ByBit. So yeah, it's now alive again, but fuck me, this thing caused me a little bit of strain when they started sending it
on Sol, man.
all the way back down. Okay, show me stuff.
Let me just quickly show you something. So just on Sol, it actually looks really good. This actually does look like a flag formation coming into this, or if not a channel. and the level for Sol to hold is literally $125. This level here is significant. I can't draw straight because I've got my mouse, but you can see in here, this is the level to hold. If it holds above this, it really is going to be continuation. It's the same as Bitcoin. If Bitcoin's above 53, it's continuation, high or low, and that's the level we need to hold. And if it does hold it, it's going to be a very, very nice continuation, a big arcing round continuation accumulation at these levels. And then if it loses it, it's likely going to spin all the way back down to something crazy. Probably going to come all the way back down to $70. But I just want to say that 125 level, super important for your community to look at.
It's a dark zone. It's a dark zone. If Bitcoin goes under this 54, 53, it's not gonna be fun. It's definitely not gonna be fun. Okay, let's finish.
Bitcoin will lose 53. Bitcoin loses 53, then Sol will probably. But the thing is, if it's rallied that high and it's like the same as Bitcoin. If it rallies that quickly up and doesn't retest prior levels, it usually is like fate always ends up playing out. It's like you can't get away from the energy of the universe. If it goes really high and then stays flat at the top, it's going to be a big move down. If it goes slowly and has a nice like kind of organic price action up, then it will probably come down slowly. But we'll see.
Okay, so just to recap here, yesterday GRT, one of the entries. Rune as well, doing its thing. Okay, I've been adding to this GRT. We started a little bit lower. We've been adding to this position, trying to grow it. You can see here on ByBit, my stop is under the lows, so 0.153. Let's talk GRT quickly. Let's just take a look at that chart. There we go. Okay, so here's my current plan for GRT. I wasn't planning on sitting in this thing for a long time. It's not a moonshot here for me. There's two zones of interest that I'm watching for TPs. Okay, first one is simple fib play 382. You can see we've got horizontal tie in there, expecting some kind of reaction in that zone. The next one for me is quite a danger zone here, 176 to 18. That sort of region there, that's where I'm taking profit in full. If we do push to that zone, I'm out of that GRT trade. And, the minute this thing starts pushing high, I'm just going to bring that stop up and just de-risk there completely. So current game plan is that. And if this plays out and we get the rejection that we're expecting on BTC, depends where it's going to be. I am expecting to see GRT down here again at some point, the 0.14 level. So I'd like to see it come into that zone at some point here. And it could play out. We push it into that zone and we fall over, and something along those lines could be the next play. So it's all depending how big the rejection is we get from BTC. So we just got to watch that 63, 64, 65 zone on BTC. We're going to tie that in with these altcoins. Another banger, Floki. Okay, we watch this thing dip. I mean, what do you see when you see these charts? You haven't looked at this shit in a while.
I'm out of these charts. I can see the opportunity. It's essentially just like higher leverage on lower market cap. But on this chart specifically right now, very crocodile low side range. And what I mean by crocodile, it means it looks like the teeth of a crocodile, very not consistent. It's erratic. There's no real consistency on the chart, and that's to do with like low liquidity. But these things are more for me buying and holding. But I would say this chart right now, there's going to be some really nice shorts on the way up, and I think your levels are pretty good, bro. 618, 786, 886. Look for mini shorts on that, and then buy the support, and just kind of play chessing.
Bang it. So my Floki that I had on WeX yesterday, I closed at the TP zones that I highlighted for you guys yesterday. So, nice to see this play out well and keeping things simple. Max 786, trend play, some horizontal action, Bitcoin weakness, looking for rejection and dominance, bang, in the zone. And these things bounce. So Floki, I'm out of that one on WeX, but I am running a new bigger Bitfunded account. So I'm going to tell you guys about that now, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing with Floki on Bitfunded. So right now you can see the target zones for Floki if you're still in Floki. Okay, 0.14, multiple zeros, 14. That's the anchored VWAP from the dump on the 6th of September. That is a big zone that we need to pay attention to. The next one is 0.144. Okay, that is your 382. That's your 100-day moving average. That's a big zone. Big rejection zone, and then this 1566. Okay, these could all be short areas. These should, at the worst case, be TP zones for you guys until Bitcoin turns super bullish again and starts blowing through some big levels. Okay, so I'm on. Have you heard of Bitfunded? It's a prop funded situation. Okay, so basically, you send some dollars. They give you a demo account. You can choose a $5,000 demo account, $10,000 demo account. You get 25, you get 50K. I've got a 50K here, and the different dollar denominations. Then they give you this demo account. You got to get 8%, you got to get 5%, then they give you the money. They give you their money that you can trade with. Now, there are some limitations as to the size of the drawdown and all those types of things that you are allowed to do. But I've had a crack now at a $50,000 Bitfunded account, and I've been playing around with Floki, and I've got an AVAX scalp here at the moment. So if you guys want to trade with other people's money, or you want to give it a go, there's a link in the description for you. You can sign up there. Just use that link and click on the challenge, and the instructions are there. It will tell you what to do. And if you pass the challenge, you get other people's money. Yes, sir.
I'll say one thing. Look, proprietary trading in crypto is actually pretty good though, because you have got it's a much lower threshold to get in. Like, there's no Sharpe ratio stuff. It's 10% max drawdown. You don't need to have multiple trades open at certain points. So I'll tell you what, there are some products out there in crypto. Crypto is driving down the price of retail-based products that in institutional grade spaces like proprietary trading, which most people would never be able to get into for the cost. It would be like $2,000, $3,000, up to $100,000 to get $1 million. But now it's like $5K or maybe less, $500 to get $100K. So it's very, very competitive. It's good for the market.
Yeah, look, there's a couple of rules on this thing. So those of you that are using it, like, it's slightly different to if you might have a certain trading style. Like for me, I like to leave things, let them bleed, let them do their thing. And then, like if I've got conviction in an area, we play it out. But this thing limits your drawdown quite strictly. So you got to really manage your position size. So even though they give me a $50,000 account on 5X, that tells me I can open a $250,000 position. But my maximum allowable drawdown on this thing is a lot less. Okay, let's just take a look here. The maximum loss is $5,000. Okay, so you need to manage your position. You can't ape in 250K and then expect this thing to bleed out a little bit and you get a 4 or 5% dump there. Then you guys are rinsed. Okay, so you need to manage position sizes. You can see I've got a $50,000 account, and look at the size of my position.
How they're doing numbers, not percents, because that's going to be quite difficult to manage if it's not a percentage and it's a number. See how that plays out.
Yeah, it's in dollars. So you can see my position size is tiny. It's versus what they give me. They give me 50,000 at 5X, but I'm trading $10,000 and $10,000. We're trading small little sizes here. We want to limit the losses. We want to just make little gains along the way. So you can see I'm in an AVAX there. I'm in a Floki. Let's see if I've got the AVAX chart. Yes. Okay. So AVAX, interesting, was a little scalpy play here for me. And I mean, Max, you must be sick of these charts. They all look the same. Okay. They all got that big dump candle. Now we got
like the same as the rest. It's like a common saying, Mark Douglas, the market likes to trend the same as everything else. And it's simply put, like, Bitcoin's the king, the daddy, the leader, the legend. And if Bitcoin's going to do something, it's going to essentially change all the other price mechanisms. That's the most pairs, most liquidity, and the most tradable amount of money in it. So I'd say, they're all going to be very similar, but some of these altcoins will break that every now and again. And that's the ones which you can make money in whilst Bitcoin's not doing anything. But again, these are all trying to carve out a bottom here, mate. Like, generally speaking, they're making high lows, like high highs, high lows, but they're not breaking the systemic stuff, the bigger time frame stuff just yet. Yeah.
So guys, look, this is my watch for AVAX. Okay, you can see these are my targets. 26.5, we're nearly there. 28.1. So we're not getting flashy. We're not trying to do anything. We're not trying to shoot the lights out here. These are the target zones. Okay, keep it simple like that. You take profits at these high reaction zones. Okay, here's our horizontal. That's your target there for AVAX, 28. If we do turn super bullish again, we can deal with that later. Okay, if the market suddenly shifts gear and things turn more bullish, we're going to adjust, because we're going to know that market's going to feel like it felt last week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. It's completely different conditions. Right now, we just need to play safe, manage your TP zone, especially the high leverage stuff. Okay, you can see I did a full round trip on ETH. Okay, in hindsight, we could have closed all those positions, but we were looking for super bullish retests, and we've lost 618s on lots of these things. And fortunately, AVAX is still holding its 618 for now. So let's see how that goes. But AVAX, I would like to see it lower at some point, 22.7, but that only ties in with a big Bitcoin rejection at one of those levels we spoke about earlier today when we were watching this Bitcoin chart. It's one of these rejection zones. Okay, that could lead to something there for us. So we just want to watch how they tie in, and we can always adapt and adjust. If things turn bullish again, we're trading these breakouts again, we are getting more aggressive. But right now, for me, playing a bit safe here until we know. Well, and also this war situation. I mean, what if they start throwing some rockets again? It's right. It's messy.
It's perpetual anxiety. It's like almost the Israelis are turning into what they what happened to them before with the freaking Nazis. They're becoming the Nazis at this rate, but I don't know what's going on. I kind of keep my head out of it, but I just see a lot of just like potential uncertainty to be created from all of that stuff in the Middle East.
Look,
not great.
The market wants certainty. There is uncertainty, so you're going to get little headlines: pump here, dump there. Until we have certainty as to what's going on, then we can't get. We just got to be careful. Okay, let's
just say one thing. It's better to look at the charts first, though, because I find a lot of the time you get into the right position by looking at the charts before the news happens anyway. And like if you look at the quantifiable numbers over like a long period of times of traders, equity curves, it's the guys looking at the charts first who make the money, and most of the time they get in before the news. Like even COVID, if you had just traded the charts, you'd been short anyway before the news.
I mean, how weird is it going to be, okay, when another nuke gets fired or something and Bitcoin conveniently rejects at 65K? I mean, wouldn't that be weird? Like,
or Bitcoin. I reckon Bitcoin will already look like it's doing something before the nuke hits, but there are some exceptions with its extreme events. But I'm saying like even COVID is an extreme event. If you looked at the charts, you would have already been in cash and short because it broke the trend. It was also downtrending already.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting thing.
Guys, two things. One meme coin here for you. WIF. Okay, this was a banger yesterday. Two, as it turns out, I closed a little bit early. I've exited my WIF position earlier today. Okay, so it took some profits there, but you can see this thing is now cracking on. It's moving into another hot zone. So what I would suggest here is just be cautious at 2.38. Now, anything can happen this weekend, but you can see this is the start of the 200-day moving average here. This is a 618. That's a hot zone for me. We've got horizontal tie in here in that region too. Look at that. We've got horizontals here as well. So just look out there. 2.38, that's a danger zone for me. Maybe you get some little fake out through that, maybe a little rollover. So just watch out there. And then my upside 2.9, I mean, things are going to have to turn super bullish to bang that 2.9 in the next couple of days, but anything can happen.
Look how crocodile it is. It's just crocodile teeth stuff, rangy crocodile stuff. It's like the evil crocos. But yeah, have fun trading it, man. I reckon do lower time frames on this shit. I reckon do even lower. I reckon get into like fucking 15-minute and 1 hour on these charts.
We dial into the 1 hours, We look at the bigger picture. The bigger picture tells you a story. Okay, then you dial in. But for me, 2.38, just be careful there. That's all I'm saying. Okay, make sure you're taking some more off. You can always leave a little bit more for the moonshot, but just 2.38, watch that zone. And, hopefully your stop is now raised. Okay, that is your main support. This 2 region, that is your support you're watching. So hopefully you are out of it now on your stop. And then one more note, guys, don't forget, Baked is alive and well. Okay, the Baked token. It is now $23 million market cap. You remember this Baked token? It's alive and kicking. Okay, it's Ray's favorite token as well. He loves this shit.
I can see he looks baked right now. It's baked chart Jesus. I love it.
So Baked is cooking. Okay, and the reason being is there's a deal now with Blowfin. There's going to be a few more listings announced pretty soon. But if you sign up with Blowfin and you're trading on Blowfin, whatever you're trading on Blowfin, if you sign up with the Baked link below, okay, whatever you trade there, a portion of your fees are going to get used to buy Baked and burn the supply. Okay, so if you supporting the Baked community, or you love Baked, or you own Baked and you are trading anyway, whatever tokens you are trading, your trading fees are buying it and they're burning the supply. Okay, they're limiting the supply of Baked, and you can see that is why after that announcement, you can see this thing is looking bullish again, and this thing is basically risen from the dead. If you look at this thing on the daily, it's come alive. There it is. Okay, you can see. So the fees, they're buying, they're burning, and it's forever. Okay, as long as it exists, it's forever that they're doing it. Okay. Okay, man in the jungle. It's what, 2 in the morning, 1 in the morning?
Yeah, it's getting real late, and I was out last night as well. It was my mate's birthday, so I was slammed like we were in Singapore, my friend. And then now I'm here with you. But I thought I'd join up, man, for these videos because you do a good job, bro.
I can't believe they gave you 10% for your chest, bro. That's shocking.
I know, dude. That's actually.
I'm offended for you. Okay, guys, I'm actually offended.
I'm generally a little bit worried, I'm going to have to not go on the show again because this is not acceptable, guys. Like, at the end of the day, fuck's sake. Like, these games, it's because they don't see it. They don't want to pay the fee to see. It's the fee, because the OnlyFans account for me is a massive earner. That's a big part of my business model. So, like, they don't want to pay the fee to see it. People like cheap
guys. Okay, he's quite a character, this man. Okay, like I spent some time with him in Singapore. He's a laugh. Okay, follow his Instagram. We'll drop it in the show comments. After the show, I'm going to get it added. After the show, I'm going to get his Instagram added into the show description. He's the man behind MD Algo. if you like what you see, MDX Algo in the description. Follow the man on Twitter. Yeah,
it's about lifestyle as well, man. Like the indicators are essentially like what I've built over the last 10 years to allow myself to have more freedom, because obviously trading is very time consuming, especially if you're lower time frame. So the indicators are built to aid that process of speed, profitability, win rate. So then you can go and live your life, because you don't want to end up going pale and white in your mum's basement trading altcoins every day. You might want to do it for 9 months straight.
How did you know I was in my mum's basement? How did you know?
Hey, look at the post behind you, bro. It's done.
This
it's
is
like
a
you're
green
the
screen behind me.
Rand's upstairs. You know, Rand the man's upstairs, and he's like, "Shut up, son." And you're down there in the basement.
Okay, Max. Thank you, sir.
I'll see you later,
Thanks for making time. Thanks for hanging. Okay, guys, that's a wrap. Ray is going to drop all these show charts in the Sniper Club right now. So if you want some of the action on the show charts, Sniper Club is where you need to be. Have a good weekend. Show from me on Sunday night. We're going to tee up the whole week. Okay, and guys, don't forget, comments after the show, drop the tokens you want. And don't forget, subscribe, okay? Because my Sunday night show is also at a different time. You want to get notified when I'm going live, okay? Make sure you are subscribed to Banter Plus. Okay, that is a wrap from me. We'll see you on Sunday night, later than normal. We're going to tee up the whole week for you. If we've had a weekend pump, we'll deal with it. If we had a weekend dump, we'll deal with it. Okay, lots happening on the weekend. See you guys later. Ray, did you get your chest liquidated, bro?